Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's story. In this episode, we'll follow Tuna's journey as she receives a heartfelt gift from Alex's sister, faces the painful loss of her fish pond, and discovers new hope when Alex promises to expand the farm and entrust her as its leader. Tuna returns to the farm carrying her baby and the weight of past mistakes, but Alex welcomes her with kindness and forgiveness. Though guilt lingers, she begins to see the farm as a place of healing. When Alex's sister arrives, she offers a small puppy as a gesture of apology, mending the rift between them. Just as hope begins to grow, Tuna discovers her fish pond is struck by disease, wiping out most of the stock. Devastated, she fears failure again, but Alex reassures her and promises to expand the farm with new opportunities in livestock and crops. More than that, he entrusts Tuna with full leadership of the farm. With Henry in her arms, Lucky the puppy by her side, and Alex's unwavering support, Tuna embraces her second chance to rebuild a future filled with promise. Stay with us until the end to see how forgiveness, second chances, and determination can turn hardship into a fresh beginning. And if you enjoy stories like this, don't forget to subscribe and help us reach our goal of 500 followers. Your support means the world to us. The sun lowered across the horizon, spilling a soft golden glow over the dirt path that wound its way toward the farm. Tuna stepped out of the vehicle, her baby nestled securely in her arms. Her body carried the fatigue of a long journey, but in her eyes flickered something fragile, a hope she had been afraid to feel again. By the wooden gate, Alex waited. His smile seemed to melt away the coolness of the evening. "Easy there," he said gently, reaching for her heavy bag. His tone was steady, the kind of voice that grounded her even in the stormiest of times. She hesitated for only a moment before handing over her backpack. Her steps grew lighter as her eyes swept across the familiar landscape, the tilled earth, the quiet barns, the steady rows of crops. This was the place she once called home. "It rained heavily last night," Alex remarked, glancing toward the fields. The floodwater came close, but the farm held strong. Tuna nodded quietly, her lips pressed together, her thoughts drifting to the reason she had left, the day she learned Johnny wasn't truly her brother. That moment had broken her spirit, and she had run. But now she was back, with her child in her arms and guilt pressing against her heart. Alex led her toward the wooden house. Inside, the faint smell of hay lingered in the air. "Come in," he said softly, switching on the ceiling fan. "Let the baby rest." Tuna placed Henry into the cradle and lingered for a moment, staring at the corner of the room. Memories pressed in. Laughter, meals, evenings spent talking until the stars appeared. She turned, meeting Alex's gaze. There was no accusation in his eyes, only a quiet acceptance that steadied her soul. The farm stood resilient, like a silent promise that life could begin anew. Taking a deep breath, Tuna whispered a vow in her heart. She would not walk away again. As the sunset turned the sky crimson, Tuna stood by the fence. Her hands tightened around the railing, her voice trembling as she finally broke the silence. "Alex, I'm sorry. I was so overwhelmed when I learned Johnny wasn't my brother. I didn't know what else to do, so I left." Alex paused in his sweeping and looked at her. His eyes were calm, filled with understanding. "You don't need to apologize. I'm not angry. I just worried about you. When you disappeared, I wanted to search every corner until I found you." The sincerity in his voice pierced through her guilt. "We planned to tell you the truth after childbirth," he explained gently. "We didn't want to add to your burden, but you found out on your own." Tears streamed silently down Tuna's face. "You only wanted to protect me, and I couldn't see that." Alex set aside the broom and stepped closer, his smile warm. "What matters is that you're here now." In that moment, the weight pressing on her chest seemed to lift. A fragile faith in the future began to take root. Alex looked out over the farmland, his voice steady. "Let's build it together. Whatever lies ahead, we'll face it side by side." Tuna nodded, determination rising within her. Beneath the fiery sky, they stood united, their bond no longer fractured by misunderstanding. Forgiveness wove a new thread between them, promising resilience and strength. The next morning, sunlight glimmered across the pond. Fish rippled at the surface as Tuna and Alex scattered bran. "The fish are eating well," Tuna said, a smile lighting her face. "They'll grow fast," Alex replied. "You started with 1,000, right? That's a strong beginning." But as they fed, Tuna's smile faltered. Near the edge, she noticed several fish struggling weakly, floating strangely close to the surface. Her heart sank. "Alex, something's wrong," she said, her voice tight. They crouched together, watching as more fish surfaced, lifeless and pale. A sickness had spread through the pond. What had once symbolized hope now lay in ruin. Tuna's chest constricted. "I should have seen the signs. I let this happen." Alex placed a steady hand on her shoulder. "Don't blame yourself. Farming always has risks. What matters is how we respond." Tears filled her eyes. "But we lost so much. What if it all fails again?" "Then we adapt," Alex said firmly. His gaze moved toward the wide field stretching beyond the pond. "We'll expand the land, build pens for livestock, coops for poultry, larger fields for crops, and Tuna. When it's ready, you'll be the one running it." Her eyes widened. "Me? Lead the farm?" "Yes," Alex said without hesitation. "You've poured your heart into this place. That's what makes a true leader. This land needs someone who cares deeply, and that's you." Overwhelmed, Tuna stared out across the property. Though grief still lingered, determination began to burn within her. "If we rebuild," she whispered, "I'll give it everything. I won't fail again." "That's the spirit," Alex said with a smile. The pond may have been struck by disease, but in that moment, the farm's future stretched wide, ready to be reborn. Not long after, a familiar car pulled up the path. Alex's sister stepped out, her arms cradling a basket. Her face showed hesitation, mixed with quiet resolve. "Tuna," she said softly, "I came to see you and the baby." Tuna greeted her politely, Henry resting against her chest. She wasn't sure what to expect after their difficult past. "I brought something for you," the sister continued. She lifted the lid of the basket. Inside, a tiny puppy blinked up at them, its tail wagging. Tuna gasped. "I know I hurt you with my words before," Alex's sister admitted, her voice trembling. "I can't undo it, but I want to make things right. I thought this puppy could bring Henry joy as he grows, and maybe remind you that you're not alone." Tuna set the puppy down, laughing softly as it tumbled playfully toward her feet. For the first time in weeks, her smile was unforced, her laughter genuine. "Thank you," she said, her voice thick with emotion. "This means more than you know." Alex's sister smiled in relief. The puppy barked happily, filling the house with a sense of healing. The puppy quickly became part of their everyday lives. Lucky, as Tuna named him, darted between the fields and the house, his tiny legs moving faster than his small body seemed capable of. Whenever Henry laughed, Lucky wagged his tail as if joining in the joy. The little dog even curled up beside the baby's cradle at night, his soft snores blending with Henry's gentle breathing. For Tuna, Lucky was more than a pet. He was a symbol of hope. Every time she looked at him, she remembered Alex's sister's effort to mend what was broken, and she remembered her own vow to give the farm everything she had. Yet, not all was cheerful. The pond remained eerily quiet. Gone were the splashes of fish at feeding time, replaced by still water reflecting the sky. Tuna often stood there, guilt pressing against her chest. But Alex's words always echoed. "This isn't the end, it's a new beginning." One crisp morning, Tuna woke before dawn. The sky was streaked with pale gray, the fields coated with dew. Alex was already up, carrying rolled papers under his arm. "Come," he said with a smile. "Let's plan." Together, they walked across the property. Alex unfolded the sketches he had made the night before. Rough outlines of barns, chicken coops, goat pens, and vegetable patches. "Here by the shed," Alex explained, pointing to a shaded lot. "We can put chicken coops. Eggs every day, steady income." Tuna crouched down, pressing her hand into the soil. "The ground's firm. It'll hold well." She stood and looked toward the stream. "And near the water, goat pens. Fresh drinking water will keep them healthy." Alex's smile widened. "You're already thinking like the farm's leader." Her confidence surprised even herself. For the first time, she wasn't merely following. She was making decisions. As they paced the land, she began to envision more clearly the sound of clucking chickens, goats grazing near the stream, fields of green stretching to the horizon. The farm no longer looked like empty soil. It looked like opportunity. In the days that followed, they worked tirelessly. Wooden stakes were hammered into the earth, ropes stretched to mark boundaries, and neighbors came by to watch curiously. "This is Tuna's farm now," Alex announced proudly whenever people asked. At first, she blushed, embarrassed by the weight of the title. But slowly, she grew into it. She began to stand straighter, to answer questions with confidence, to command respect through quiet determination. Not everyone believed in her. Some neighbors whispered doubts about a young mother running an operation of this scale. "She can't handle it," they murmured. "It's too much." But Tuna heard their whispers and pressed on. Doubt no longer broke her. It fueled her. Evenings found her bent over a lamp, reading about livestock care, disease prevention, and crop rotation. Her notes filled page after page, each line proof of her commitment. During the day, she worked beside Alex, clearing brush, hauling wood, even hammering nails until her hands blistered. Lucky ran around them, chasing after insects, barking at passing carts, and tugging playfully at her shoelaces until she laughed despite her exhaustion. Henry watched from his cradle under the shade, his small hands reaching for the light, his giggles carrying across the field. Every moment reminded Tuna why she was doing this, not for pride, but for the future of her child and the family she had found. One evening, after Henry had been put to sleep, Tuna and Alex sat on the porch. Fireflies blinked across the yard, their glow like tiny lanterns floating in the dark. The air was thick with the scent of earth and grass, the comforting fragrance of home. "You've changed," Alex said quietly, breaking the silence. Tuna tilted her head, curious. "Changed how?" "You used to doubt yourself," he said. "Now I see a woman who leads, who believes in her strength." A soft smile touched her lips. "Maybe I had to lose something precious to finally see what I wanted." "And what do you want now?" Alex asked. She looked out at the fields, her voice firm. "To build this farm into a place of life. For Henry, for you, for me, for all of us." Alex nodded, his eyes reflecting pride and quiet admiration. "Then we'll make it happen." In that still moment, beneath the star-dotted sky, their unspoken bond deepened. It wasn't just about land or livestock anymore. It was about healing, forgiveness, and building a sanctuary together. Weeks passed, and progress became visible. Wooden frames for chicken coops rose against the sky. Fresh seedlings broke through the soil, stretching eagerly toward the sun. Pens were cleared near the stream, waiting for the goats they planned to buy. Every nail hammered, every row planted, every fence built carried Tuna's fingerprints. Alex supported her, but she led. Neighbors who once doubted began to watch with curiosity, then respect. They saw her sweating under the sun, carrying beams, and guiding the workers with calm authority. One afternoon, an older farmer stopped by. He studied the new layout and nodded slowly. "You've got vision, young lady. This farm will thrive under your hands." Tuna bowed her head, gratitude warming her chest. Praise no longer embarrassed her. It fueled her determination. The work wasn't without challenges. Supplies cost more than they had expected, and unexpected rains delayed construction. There were moments when Tuna wanted to cry from exhaustion, but each time she looked at Henry's face or heard Alex's steady encouragement, she found the strength to keep going. Lucky, ever loyal, was always by her side. When she felt overwhelmed, the pup would tumble into her lap, demanding attention until she laughed through her tears. He became her little guardian, reminding her to find joy even in hardship. One late afternoon, after hours of clearing land, Tuna stood at the edge of the field. Sweat clung to her skin. Her muscles ached, but her spirit was stronger than ever. Around her, the frames of coops and barns stood like promises waiting to be fulfilled. Lucky lay at her feet, panting, while Henry gurgled happily in his cradle nearby. The horizon glowed with streaks of orange and gold, painting the sky with fire. "This is ours now," she whispered, her voice carrying both pride and resolve. "This farm belongs to our future." Alex came to stand beside her, following her gaze. "You've done more in weeks than most do in years," he said. "I knew you could do it." Tuna turned to him, her eyes steady. "And I couldn't have done it without you. But more than anything, I don't feel like I'm running from the past anymore. I feel like I'm building something real." Alex nodded, placing a hand lightly on her shoulder. "That's because you are." As the sun dipped lower, they stood together, watching the farm stretch before them. It wasn't finished, not by a long shot, but it was alive with possibility. For Tuna, the girl who once ran away in fear, this land was no longer a reminder of mistakes. It was proof of growth, resilience, and the power of second chances. She closed her eyes briefly, then opened them again, filled with determination. "We'll make this farm thrive," she said firmly. And for the first time, she truly believed it.